Hey y'all, I'm Scrub, and welcome back to Going Medieval. In the last part, we got our start in the new settlement of Windridge, and we got this nice little defensive cottage slash outer wall going, and I think that's going to do okay for us. And to start off today, our main goal is going to be trying to get a little bit of research done, because yeah, I would like to try and get this to be a legitimate security door to give us some actual defense, which for that, we are going to need defensive structures, which is over here at 30, which isn't too bad. The problem with that is we also need iron ingots, so we're going to need smelting to build a smelter, which is also 30. So that's what we'll be working on to start off. We already had a merchant come visit us in the last part, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get that done before the next siege, but we're going to try. And it looks like Oswald is at least starting off on it right away, so that's good. Other than that, we should probably come up with something a little bit more active that we can work on, and it does look like we're out of wood, so how about we start with that as a priority. We do also have a bit of hauling that we can do, which will help out. We have a few logs already just sitting out here, so we can just let those get grabbed, and I think we will probably just go ahead and do some chopping in the immediate area because we are on a hillside map, so we should be okay. Ooh, actually I say that, there we go, a nice group of dead trees. Oh, a lot of them down here. Okay, we should be good. And we're already up to 25 research, which is really good. I didn't think we were already gonna be up that high. I think I have you set to get 30, right? Yeah, 30. I'm gonna knock that up to 50, but this is probably a good little loop we have going on. So we'll have you do all the hauling, you'll keep riding, you just keep chopping down trees. Okay, never mind, you're going immediately into cutting. That's fine, which means we can probably actually go ahead and fast forward through quite a bit of this while they get to work. Did not see there was a little tree in there, unfortunately. Bit of a shame to chop that down, but what can you do? Maybe see what I'm chopping, but why would I do that when I can just guess? Oh, look at that. Oswald's already in a great mood. Fantastic. You love to see it. Did want to make sure we do have enough room to place these down until we get the actual library stuff built, which we should be able to do shortly after because I think we need to get to furniture, which is only 15, but I definitely want to make sure that we get the smelting stuff set up first. There we go. We'll go ahead and mine up 3 deposits whenever we have some time for that, and then by the time we get everything done, we should be able to have that other research ready. We already have plenty of clay. We went and grabbed that last time, so as soon as we have the research, we can build the smelter, which is going to be 1 more set. Yeah, you're at 12, so you're pretty decent, and even better, you have 2 stars, so you're going to be really good at this over the long term. And there should be the last one. Go ahead and drop it off. And there we go, we have smelting. Of course, that will be down here. We can go ahead and throw that over in this corner, should be all right. Okay, and they did get done chopping, so Dwight's gonna actually get back on food prep, which is good because we have a lot of raw meat, so we should hopefully do something with that. How many meals do we actually have? 27, we're set to 30. Mix 4 at a time. Go ahead and hop up to 40 in that case. They'll probably get it done in the morning since it's getting pretty late. Oh, actually. All right, so this is going to be the episode where I get proven wrong immediately on just about everything I say. Lovely. There we go. Go ahead and get the iron ingots queued up for tomorrow. And let's try and keep 30 on the stockpile. Start off should be okay. Okay, weird thing. I was going to check this guy's clothing because last time I think it was down at like 2. I can't even look at it, so I think it might be on the cusp of being broken. Because, yeah, I hover over that. It says 50. You're at 55. It just maybe doesn't exist. Not sure. We should probably get another set of clothes ready in any event. That's the first time I've seen anything that weird where the clothing they start with is such poor condition it breaks in the first week. That's pretty nuts. Also, follow-up. Do we even have a smith? We probably have someone that's okay at it. She does have a growth in it and level 9. Okay. So you will definitely be taking care of that, which means you're doing the mining and the smithing, which is not a terrible combo. I do kind of like that. And there we go. We're going to get our first set of iron smelted up. Someone clean the poo out of the goat pen, please. Feel like we don't need to leave that in there. From writing books to shit shoveling, everyone has to contribute. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I was just looking around. Is that... Wow, that's surface gold. Okay, that's pretty lucky. 3 things of surface gold. And silver. Okay, yeah, Hillside may just be the best biome. It has the best of everything with none of the downsides. I want to do a mountain and a marsh run at some point as well. The last one we did was forest, and forest is pretty fun. You really do have to dig for getting any decent material, but it can be done. The other 2, I think, are going to be a little bit more interesting because the marsh is all about having access to water. That was I believe that was the update where they introduced fishing. I could be making that up. But that's why they introduced the marsh type, and then mountain is I was caught off guard. Like, I thought it would be, like, mostly mountain. It was, like, the entire top layer was stone. There were a couple trees, and that was pretty much it. Definitely possible, just, you know, definitely gonna take some planning. I think that would probably be a run where you focus more on the fishing and the hunting. Of course, with terraform, you can eventually make anything workable for farming, but of course, that's assuming there's enough dirt to dig up to relocate. Okay, there we go. There's the new set of clothes. And honestly, even though they're probably just glitched on, I'm gonna drop these to see what condition they're in. Yeah, they literally broke when I dropped them. So those definitely weren't supposed to be there. Go ahead and throw those on. Hey, you made sturdy. Well done. Okay, so we'll need some summer clothes later. I'm not going to worry about that for a while, though. That's definitely not a priority. We have a lot of stuff we need to actually bring back to base. Might actually just let today run to let these guys do that. Yeah, Learncia is just straight up hauling, which she doesn't like, but it's fine. That research is going to be our agriculture, which I think is 10. Yeah. Hey, Learncia and Dwight are friends. Here we go. Reicheld arrived in great haste, professing they have been targeted by a malicious alchemist. Reicheld fled with the occultist and their cronies in hot pursuit. Would you protect Reicheld and Winterridge? The Society of Fellows is known to use strange methods to exact revenge. It's gonna be tight. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get the door in time. It depends on how long it's gonna take them to attack. Okay, honestly, 1 archer and 3 marauders should be fine. And you are a crafty butcher. Good at culinary, bad at art. 42, 3 perks, okay? It looks like you're actually in good condition, thankfully. You have a mild concussion, but we can work with that. We have a bed ready for you, so please come on in. And didn't we already have a... Yeah, you're a good culinary and double intellectual. Okay, so kind of the opposite of you in a way. We can work with that. Kind of sucks to pull somebody that already had a duty covered, but that does work out because that means we can have you focus on cooking and you were our backup on cooking. So Oswald will be backup. Unfortunately, right now he won't be doing it that much because we really do need him to focus on research, but we will have him help out with that eventually. And let's make sure everyone is on the same schedule real quick. Easy enough. And search party. Okay, we have plenty of time. Because I think even when the search party arrives, we'll have to go out and talk to them. So I think we're actually okay. The game's being very generous with the timetable for the first siege, which, to be fair, it should, because it's real easy to mess it up. And if you mess up at the start of the game, it's just a run over. If you don't have the proper defenses or any kind of plan going. But we should be okay. Oh, speaking of, what weapons do we have for you? I think we have a sling. That's going to be in the other room. A sling or a spear. What are you better at? 9 melee, 6 marksman. 12 marksman, you have the longbow. 7 marksman, you have 2 stars. Definitely leave you on that. And Dwight's good in melee, so... You go ahead and convalesce. We'll probably give you that spear. Well, we'll think about it. We got time. And I don't think I can make... Yeah, I can't make any kind of armor because it's just basic clothing. Oh, interesting. You're also really good at animal handling. You must have... where is it? Oh, you're a washout. And you're callous, and you're outgoing. I'll be honest, I was expecting her to have the, what is it, like a Wiccan trait or something? It has the bear paw on there, and it gives you a bunch of animal handling, even if it's not your steez. So she's, I guess, just good at it. Fair enough. Maybe it's because she's a butcher. And you're also good at botany, even though you don't have a growth in it. Can definitely get some use out of you. Looks like we're getting a lot of hauling done today. I think I actually got the majority of the stuff immediately around us. We still have all this to get, but we're looking pretty good, and definitely go ahead and chop these down now that they died. And I am going to preemptively go ahead and expand the dumping ground while we figure out where we want everything else to go in case I forget. I think this will be a nice little template to get us started. I might need to tweak this as time goes by, but for now I think that'll get the job done, especially once she actually recovers, which how much time do you actually have on your concussion? You're going to actually be healed up pretty shortly, but 86. Okay, so 3 days. Yeah, I think she's going to actually be conked out for a lot of that, unfortunately, but it's what we're going to have to live with. And the stockpile's already getting pretty full, actually, inside. That's a good problem to have for sure, but I do think we probably want to get some internal and external storage. Thing about the food, that's going to be a while because we need terraforming. That's up at 45, and we definitely want to make sure that we get the door set up before any of that. And there we go. Yeah, she's going to be laid out for the whole time, I think, unfortunately. Bit of a shame, but she will be able to fight if we tell her to, so that won't be an issue. Small price to pay for longevity. I'm okay with it. And it looks like they're still doing quite a bit of hauling, so probably let that wrap up and then Okay, well, there goes all our ale. It turned to vinegar. That's not my favorite. But what I was going to say is we'll probably just let these guys wrap up all of the hauling, and then once they go idle, we'll figure out a new plan. Although before we do anything, I do want to do a carcass check for the day. All right, yep, nothing yet. Yeah, I think once winter rolls around, we'll probably start having the first wave of animals dying off. I think it'll be a while, unless some of them started off really old. Taking a quick look around the map to see if there's anything worth allowing. I'm actually gonna grab dirt, which sounds really dumb, but it's actually pretty good for doing your own terraforming and making sure that you can set up your farms where and when you want. But other than that, it seems like it's mostly sticks and bones, which we're not as interested in. Ooh, I found a bunch of flax while I was looking, though. We definitely want to grab all that so we can start making some clothes. That's pretty close to base, too. Oh, and these ones are even growing in even better. And some barley. Okay, today might end up being a bit of a harvesting day, actually. There's a lot of stuff growing right now. Okay, and yeah, these two are botanists, so they're just going to start tearing this stuff apart. Love that. And it's actually getting pretty hot out. I think we can go ahead and turn the braziers down. How's it inside? 72? Yeah, definitely, we'll try turning them off first to see if we can run that. You probably need light to do this, though, don't you? We should probably get you a torch. And let's get you a little bit of a wall torch going. Let's get one in here, too. Why not? Get rid of the rotten meat. We don't want that inside. Oh, I do need to remember one of the first things you want to do early game, make sure you don't use barley in your meals, because barley, until you get your actual farm going, can be a bit sketchy. Everything else should be fine, but yeah. Definitely remember to save your barley until you have it sustainable. Granted, on this map, I think we're okay. I've seen quite a bit of it laying around, but it is something that if you leave it unchecked, it can become a problem. But I think we caught it in time. We should be okay. I'm actually going to cancel this group down here because I want to make sure all this stuff gets inside now that it's raining. So we'll get this, and then I'll probably set up an urgent haul order to bring all this inside. Get that last bit done. There we go. Urgent haul, please. We should probably start trying to get our warehouse set up too. Again, I was talking about trying different stuff this season. I think something... Ooh, okay. Well, I was about to go on this tirade about, oh, I want to try new stuff. I want to do new things. The first place I want to expand is right into some barley that we definitely need to let grow. So maybe not now. Maybe we'll do our expansion after the first siege. But yeah, usually what I like to build is usually I'll have like one central building and then I'll build a giant keep and have a big wide open inner area. I kind of want to try and build the opposite. I want to try and keep as much internal as possible and only allowing like some minor entry points like this. I'm not sure how sustainable or viable that's going to be, especially over the long term, but you know what? You don't know things until you try them. So honestly, what'll probably end up happening, it'll be a little bit of column A, a little column B, because I don't really know if I want my warehouse directly connected to my living area where I'm going to have all my other rooms. Okay, we're up to 27 books, a little bit more research, and then we should be able to build that pretty quickly. Do we already have the iron ingots ready? We sure do. Love to see it. Okay, and that is all of that gathered. Excellent. In which case, let's go ahead and gather all of the flax and go ahead and grab these herbs too. Okay, last book, and then we'll have our security door. All right, now he's going to entertain himself as soon as I start watching. Never watch your people work. They hate it. Ooh, a nice little mushroom patch down here by all this wood that we chopped down. Probably grab that too. And while we have a free moment, we should probably think about our future plans, because there's a lot of stuff down here. This will probably become one of our first mines. There's iron, coal, limestone, a little bit of salt, and clay. That is a lot of stuff we can mine, actually. That's just about everything. Of course, it was over here in this one that we have the gold. And I think there's probably some silver over here too. I think they tend to be near each other. Yeah, there were a couple veins right here, so... We'll definitely want to grab some of that because we do need gold for our religious structures, which we should be able to build now. That's one of the reasons I wanted to go grab all this wood, so we can build these shrines, and we'll probably just go ahead and throw those right here now that I'm thinking about it. Worship side by side. That can't lead to any problems whatsoever. But more importantly, there's rank 30, so defensive structures are unlocked. Actually, go ahead and cancel those before I forget. Okay, go ahead and deconstruct that. Cancel all the far orders because I want to make sure this gets done. Laurentia, I did miss that patch of herbs, unfortunately, so now she's coming over to deconstruct. It'll be fine, I think. Okay, pause. Definitely don't want to waste our time on this one. Reinforce. And then you prioritize that right away. And honestly, just in case, well, one, turn you over to neutral, but two, keep working until it's done. I don't think it's going to be an immediate attack, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. A little bit more. Okay, negotiator, 20 hours. The swarthy jailers wanted your settler Reicheld, and they wanted him now. They had to pay for their crimes, or your whole village would pay. It was up to you. Go. So we have 20 hours to deal with that. Oh, hey, Reicheld turned 43 today. Happy birthday. We're probably going to get sieged. There we go. Security door. Yay. Oh, you should go to sleep, by the way. Thank you for your work. Go ahead and draft and undraft so you go to bed. Okay, even more meat turning into rotten meat. You love to see that. And by love, I mean that's really bad for us. Let's go ahead and get rid of all of those if we can. Much appreciated. Also, since you are laid out for cooking, I'm going to bump you up to 1 again as well. We do probably need you to work on that for a little bit since we have the door finished. Of course, if anyone is convalescing, literally, okay, can you guys get the rotten meat out of our freaking place, please? That's really not good to be literally sleeping on rotten meat. I think that might have some slight health concerns associated with that. But yeah, now that we have the security door up, we should be fine. Also, follow-up, was there anything else I needed to research before we started the siege? Probably not. I could try and beeline wooden weaponry, but we definitely don't have enough time for that. So yeah, I might actually want to pop that siege pretty early in the morning. Once we get all this garbage out of here. Hey, Oswald and Dwight are friends. Hooray. Okay, you guys deal with that. Who is our negotiator? That is Dwight. And of course, this guy went to the farthest corner of the map possible. Good for you, man. Yeah, that would be a really weird time siege, so let's go trigger it manually. We're ready. Seconds before disaster. Okay, you are down to a moderate concussion, which I'm okay with. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna give you a spear because the security door, you do have to keep in mind with the way the game works now, they don't even have to completely destroy this. They only have to get it down to 20% health. So as much as I would love to give her a sling and just have her on the wall to hopefully kill everyone before they get in, I would rather have, you know, safety over sorry. And I feel like if they do break through, that could be bad. Here we go. Dwight is showing up, and I assume they're going to attack. I don't think I've ever seen one of these where you can tell them to F off and they leave. It can happen. The assembled fellows had the air of robbers at an ale feast, rather drunk and speaking balderdash to obscure their true intentions. Indeed, you realize that their overblown flattery amounted to naught, masking a plot to kidnap Reicheld while you were distracted. Would you let them get away with it? Yeah, 3 marauders, 1 archer. I thought that might have been backwards, so I'm glad we're going with the spear. So yeah, we're not going to bow. Screw you. And they're now neutral. Oh, wow, they actually did just leave. Yay, we did it! I didn't think that was gonna work. Aha! Unless I'm about to get a surprise. Nope. All right, they just let it be. Okay, we do need to get some more food. So let's actually go ahead and do a round of harvesting on the berry bushes so we can make some meals and grab some of this barley too. So now our question is, what do we want to expand next? Of course, we need to let Reicheld recover, but that's just going to happen with time. Yeah, let's actually go ahead and build those shrines while I'm thinking about it. Let's get these out of the way. There we go. Get those down. And I don't think there's anything else we need immediately. Well, there are 2 deer carcasses, so let's go grab those for sure. But after that, I could go for the warehouse that I was thinking about. We are going to need to grab agriculture. That does go into more of the food tech that we need, especially fermenting we'll need to get into soon. So we should probably grab that, get that started. Wouldn't be a bad idea to get into farming either. It's a good map for it. Even more food rotting away. Love that for me. Oh, these ones were far away and right next to each other. Go ahead and grab this barley while we're looking at it. I guess the other question is going to be, where do we set our fields at? Over here might be okay on the north side. I usually like to have the farm on the south side so that it gets a little bit more sun. The problem with that is we've got the big field over here, and then we've got this iron, limestone, and coal, which we could dig all this up and fill it in with dirt. The problem is that's going to take a long time. I guess it also depends on how big the fields are. And we can always move them later if we really need to. So maybe we do set the fields over here, but do like smaller batches this time. And there's the shrines up and running. How much material do we have to work with? We don't have that much wood right now because the shrines are really expensive. They're 80 a piece. Might want to go grab some of that for tomorrow so we can come up with something to do. Yeah, looks like we have a few trees patches dying off at the same time. Definitely grab all of those. Okay, morning of the 10th day of spring, everyone gets to work. How are you doing, Reicheld? Okay, mild concussion is still moderate, 33 hours, so Another day and a half, and then you'll be good to go. Oh, hey, a wolf carcass. Let's grab that. I should go ahead and urgent haul that before someone else eats it up. Yeah, we've got quite a few little patches of things just laying around as far as food and herbs and the like go. So I'd probably do a day of chopping and gathering. And then tomorrow, I think we might go for a more major plan, but today's probably going to be a fairly quick and boring one. I think we're just about caught up on food finally. Oh, never mind. We got to chop up all the bodies. Right, forgot about that. Yeah, the problem with playing catch up like this is we have completely stopped on our research, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I think it has to happen for a little bit. Oh, damn it. I thought she was on entertainment. She was going to be good. I think she will be fine a little bit early. Well, you're down to minor mild. I think she might start working a little bit before this wears off. I think she might start working at the 12-hour mark. I could be mistaken, though. In any event, tomorrow she will be up and about, which means we will be in a much better position. In fact, we should be able to actually go ahead and swap over to research again on you. So yeah, you'll be the backup cook officially. Oh no, there she is. She's working. Hooray! Just in time for the end of the day. Huzzah. Now, Oswald is just going to hit the books 25-8. And even better, these two are just going to do a bunch of hauling. So probably let today run out. And then tomorrow, I think we're going to be running at full capacity. And hopefully most of our stuff is actually accounted for on the stockpile. Actually, what I might do this year, because we were talking about barley and stuff earlier, I might do a little bit of a half harvest. Like, I might only set up a couple fields, namely barley, maybe cabbage. But don't worry about getting all of them set up. But I do want to make sure that we don't run out of that before we get it in the ground. And we are going to need some of that to make some drinks later. And we have plenty of the berry bushes, so we do at least have the wine taken care of. Or at least we should, because we definitely need to get a cellar going. And Reicheld is helping out with hauling to start. Okay, so that means we're caught up on food, I think. Probably let these guys go for an hour or two just to make sure that we're okay. There we go. Research available. That's agriculture. I'm going to grab that right away. So now we go over to our fields and let's get barley set up. There is a lot of tree cover over here. I'm not a huge fan of that. Maybe we do go north side just for at least a season. Yeah, let's go little baby field, 6x4 and cabbage. What else do we have? You know what? Screw it. If we're going to do it for just one harvest or one season rather, we might as well do a full set. Also curious to see what we can actually deal with as far as what we can plant with who we have. Okay, yeah, we can't even do beet fields. That's fine. And that means can't do herbs either, I don't believe. Oh, of course. We need to plant our apple trees. Yay. Not a great spot for them. I guess right out front for now. We'll have to be fine. We'll come up with a better plan later. Actually, you know what? Don't do the carrot field. We only have 6 of them. I forgot I could literally just look at it like this. You know, the smart way to do it. So yeah, we'll go cabbage, flax, and barley for the first season. And these are probably just going to be temporary fields. We'll come up with a long-term plan later. Reicheld gardening already? I guess that's a good problem to have. You probably don't worry about animal husbandry since you're focused on research. Reicheld can be the backup on that. Yeah, Reicheld's a backup on a lot of things. I mean, it's things that we need backups for, so it's fine. It's kind of interesting. You're 2 on that, 3 on that. Yeah, I think now that we have you working, I'm okay with this work order. Okay, so today's actually going to be a bit more of a gardening day than I was planning, but it will work out. 11th day of spring harvest is pretty late, but we'll definitely get at least 1 or 2 good rounds out of it, so it's worth it. And of course, we need to make sure that we set up the right order, so you're going to be ripe. How are we looking on cabbage seeds? That'll be fine. We'll go flowering to get a little bit of food while also getting extra seeds. And then, yeah, flax and barley are both either ripe or you don't harvest, so pretty basic order to start off. This is something else I might consider for this season because I normally go pretty big fields so that we're just constantly stuffing the cellar. The problem with doing that is that you're also constantly expanding the cellar to the point where it's going to cover the entire settlement, which isn't bad, but it does eat up a lot of man hours to keep up with the demand. So I'll try something a little bit smaller this time around. We'll see if we like it. Oh, there we go. First apple saplings are deployed. Love it. And all the fields are already done. We do need a little bit more barley. We can go probably search for some of that to plant. honestly. Oh, well, speaking of, there's one. And I think once these grow, we'll actually start our building expansion that I have planned, because I do want to expand south first, because I think I have an idea for that. Okay, here we go. I found another little patch of barley. That should all be able to be planted, and then we'll be set. Also got a lot of trees dying off at a pretty rapid pace. So we should have plenty of wood coming in. And I haven't really had time to do it yet, but I think now is a great time for it. We can actually go ahead and start training our goats. I think now we're finally in a good little spot here. Maybe should have started doing that a little bit earlier, but I was focused on a bunch of other stuff, so I think we're fine though. And hopefully this will be the last bit of the barley going down. There we go, last one. Yay, there we go. Just like that, our agriculture is set up for the season. Love it. Okay, it looks like Rykeld's actually going to start taking care of the animals along with Dwight at the same time. So I guess that means everyone caught up at the same time. Excellent. And on the morning of the final day of spring, we can go ahead and call it a part for here, ladies and gentlemen. A pretty good part. We got Rykeld up and running. It's great. The Society of Fellows decided to go out with a whimper instead of a bang, which I'm honestly extremely okay with because that means we can focus on more important shit, namely getting our research and our expansion underway. And next time we're going to actually dive full tilt into that. We have a little bit of research right now. We'll probably grab, let's see, we have furniture and fermenting right now. Of course, we are going to rapidly expand this. And I think I have a plan for that. I'm actually going to go ahead and unlock furniture right now, because I think our first expansion is actually going to be twofold. And of course, we actually have our agriculture underway, which I wasn't planning to get on this early, but you know what? Sometimes things just work out for the best. So next time, more expansion, more building, more people, more harvesting, all the good stuff in the world that you love to see in a game like this. So hopefully y'all are looking forward to it. Until then, thanks for stopping by. See you later.